ready, Dale?
I'm ready, Howard.
Mate, that whet your appetite or what?
Oh, it certainly did.
So here we go again. So it's Showcars Melbourne 2025. And I've just got back from Melbourne, 10-hour drive with a few stops coming home, a couple of grandpa stops.
Might have stopped at the bakery, didn't you?
Oh, I went past. I should have stopped at the bakery. We always stop at the bakery. That's Holbrook, if those that don't know. So, mate, straight up, we're into Ronnie Barclay's wonderful Camaro, and it's sitting right in the doorway. And Ron's part of the club that helps to organise this whole thing. So, Showcars Melbourne, the club.
Mm-hmm.
And he was judging at the show, so the car wasn't judged, but it was sitting inside the doorway, and they're still doing setup. You can see car covers and stuff on the ground. So I've covered this a few times, and it really is the pinnacle of detail.
Yes.
And it did very well at Summonats, and I'm sure it'll do very well wherever it goes. But it's pretty much a restored car that's done as an elite car, which is quite unusual. Now the blown PRM.
The Prem.
There you go.
I like the Premiers.
Yep. I like the way they've used the interior colour around the wheel arches and in the boot and all that sort of stuff on this car. I thought it was quite clever when I first seen it at Summonats. And it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. Like
draws your eye.
Yeah, the use of paint rather than, in the trim side of things.
It's a good look. In the badge.
Yep. So a lot of work done. So the full blown elite car. Oh, the focus, Dale, the focus. Very difficult when you go in. The camera wants to pick up the door jamb and not the.
Yep.
So there's that bonnet that I was talking about when we've seen this last time. And check out the underside of that bonnet.
Wow, there's some work in that.
There sure is. So this downstairs. So the way this place is set up, you've got pretty much your elite or your pinnacle cars downstairs, and then around the back in the downstairs is the GT Falcon Club,
right.
And then upstairs is another 100 odd cars, and then a whole lot of cars come in. So this is Saturday evening. Saturday evening.
Yes.
Because the show is actually on the Sunday.
That's right. Yep.
Now another unveil from Summonats. Super nice car. This is a race car. That they wanted to build the best they could. And
it's a race car with bling.
I've had a bit of a chat to the guys, and it will definitely be raced. And the idea is to have something that is a race car with plates, really. It's not,
might be trouble getting it registered, but
there's no doubt about hiding that, but that's what it is. And I thought it was cool. You've seen in that opening with it driving out of the hall. Of all those cars in the hall, this was one of the few that drove out under its own steam. Most of them, the trailer got backed up to the door.
Yep.
Look at that.
There's some pipework and plumbing and engineering going under that hood.
It sure does, and it all has a purpose, obviously, because it's going to go fast. So this is my third year back, and appreciate the support from Elvis to get us down there and do it. Yeah, this is another new one, I think, Dale, right up your alley.
Oh, it is. The HK. Sorry, I think I dribbled.
And when I first seen it, I thought, oh, it's black with a red trim, but it's not that one, it's another one. It's got that nice, the wheel arch treatment. Is that GDS or is that Prem or both? Or?
Yeah, no, well, I think it might have been an option. I'd like to be corrected, but yeah, we saw it on a few of those models of cars. So.
Looks good with the red, red in the badge
highlight,
and the red around the wheel arches and stuff, and then a big block in there with some sort of injection set up, I imagine.
It certainly is a big block.
Yep, it's got the fuel rails and then a throttle body sitting up on the top there, so I'm sure that's making plenty.
It's a 5 litre badge on the guard, but I don't think it's a 5 litre. Maybe that's a side.
I think they're fudging. So the Wild Cad, and this got sort of stuck away for quite some years, and it's a guy down here, he's probably even in the club, I would think, because it was there last year, and it's good to see it out. And normally the bonnet's down, and because this was set up, I managed to sneak a little look in there.
I don't think I've ever seen it with the bonnet up here.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I love the way the inside's got the LEDs and all.
Yes.
Plug the car in, you see the cord at the back there, plug it in and she all lights up.
It's such a good car to see in the flesh.
And it's quite old now, and from a build perspective, but it's still looking sensational.
It does.
I'm not sure why this guy had his board covered. There was a little bit of concern about a bit of dust or something, I think, even though there was a few showers of rains and thing. But this is a very nice new build hot rod. And if I can probably be corrected on this, but I'm pretty sure it's out of Western Australia, that one.
Okay.
I look like I'm a bit lost here, Dale. I was turning around. It's really difficult when there's people that aren't quite aware that you're filming. Even though you've got a big camera on a gimbal, but it doesn't matter. Now, this car, I got to have a chat to this guy, and it's a really interesting story. This car debuted at someone at 17.
Wow.
So 20 years ago.
That's amazing.
And it won some awards, including a paint award at that event.
Okay.
And this is still the same paint.
Oh,
and it hasn't been repaired or anything else. And he's now got it back out because his son now is enjoying the ride as well.
Excellent.
So I was trying to convince him he needs to bring it back to Summernats and put it in street.
For sure.
Because they've used it for 20 years and that's what street's all about. So this Cortina was upstairs last year, and it's got a nice big blower on it.
A big snail.
A very big snail.
You might call it a slug, that big a snail. But it don't go slow, I bet. It don't go slow. Now, what do you call that colour, Howard? Is that?
I'll just wait till I get over the top of it a little bit. It's get in there. It's got all the stickers,
original
and all
and beautifully
presented. And interesting that it's a Fairmont, and it hasn't been turned into a GT, which is nice.
So GS Fairmont,
it's a GS Fairmont.
Oh, look, Dale, read the badge, Dale.
And I'm not sure about the colour because we had a Monza green one, which is a non-iridescent, and this one's iridescent. See, it's got like that goldy colour trim. It's pretty cool. So yeah, nice car.
Does look good.
And then this one's done the rounds, been on the stand and had a few times at Motorex and stuff. So now it's obviously getting a bit of use by the look of it. It's parked up, no stands, no ropes.
Excellent.
Fair bit of go fast.
Probably my favourite Commodore model, the VH. I think that's probably the pick.
Now, you recognise that one, Dale?
Ho, ho, ho.
Real men smoke Eagers.
That's a beautiful car.
So that's Chris Stu's car. So there you go. Look at that. The 84 Nationals. And on the cover of that second one is the engine from Rock Solid.
Oh, there you go.
Second time around. And I haven't seen Chris for many, many years. And we managed to have about a 20-minute, gab on about all the days past and all the different things. And he was telling me that he was, at one stage, he started putting an engine together for the blue one, like a blown injected thing, and then had a better thought about it. And I said, I'm glad you did that.
Yeah.
And then the black one next to it now, the XR, that's his son's.
Right.
And that's the one I was saying that's very angry.
Yes.
And I think you heard that at Motorex.
I did hear that.
Yeah, it's a very strong thing.
I had to go to the dentist and check my fillings after that.
So I thought that was cool to have the father and son team there. And they've had some cool T-shirts with the in the boot, I think, son of a gun.
Excellent.
Which I thought that was very clever. There we go. Cool looking shirt. Righto, where am I going now? So it took me a couple of hours to wander through all of these different cars and try and make sure we get as much as we can, but not turn it into 3 hours.
And there was even some bikes.
There were a couple of bikes, a couple of nice bikes. So you'll see, I'd turn around, I think you can see a bit outside. Here we go. So it's a beautiful place. It's a bit like being up at Rose Hill for the Sydney show, but of course we're in Melbourne at Moonee Valley. Now this one was for sale, Dale. I could see you in that. Golf clubs in the back.
Yeah, there was a bit of room for the clubs.
Little supercharged LS in there.
Now that'd be a C10. Howard, if my
I reckon you'd be right.
Memory helps.
I've been caught out of it though. All of a sudden they'll have a C3500 or something. You know, it's
Well, you
my
know me. I
forte,
like
really.
stirring the pot. You know,
Yeah,
get
I
the
know.
audience to get the answers correct if I get it wrong.
Now this was in the muscle car hall,
Right.
and I didn't get or haven't received as yet all the results for this particular event. So this one's a C600.
Right.
There you go,
The
55 cab over engine.
Yep.
It got a pick to go in Superstars, I believe.
Looks like it's rightly justified too, but
Yeah. So there's a lot of panels to rub on a car, on a truck that big.
yeah. It's only got 2 doors, but geez, they're big.
Now there we go. I got back to the sign, so I've done the car twice. That's good. So Grumpy's 34.
Grumpy would be very happy with how that's turned out.
Yep. The fact that he's got in there twice as
Yeah.
well. It's very difficult for Louise at these shows because I'm trying to work around the crowd.
Yes.
So all these guys have been setting up and they don't get in until a bit after lunch. So they've got to set the cars up, clean the cars, and then at the same time they're setting up to have the VIP dinner, which is like a
Right.
smorgasbord type thing, so
Yep.
which is pretty cool. Now this car here is, once again, was an unveil last year, I think, at Motorex.
Yes.
And was at Summonats, and it was in the top 60
Yep.
video. And I just tried to cover a few things I didn't get to get a good look at, so like the trim and some of these side pods and stuff that are really clever.
Yeah, they've executed that really well.
And a lot of it's out of Ring Brothers, I believe, and I think the Ring Brother, one of the boys has signed the dash or somewhere on it. I've seen a signature, and that's out of Automotive Creations down in Melbourne. Very red Mustang. So moving along now, another couple of cars that we've seen before, but try and get a bit of a different take on them. So this is Steve Aldrich's, one of his own vehicles. Pretty much a resto, and like everything Steve does, it's all detailed down to the nth degree, and very much a stocker.
It's like stepping back in time, Howard.
It is, mate, and he's got, you know, he picked that, I presume, from his dad, Ray, that attention to everything being
Yep.
right and the finish and the was talking about getting all of that zinc on the outside and the stainless just to be right, to look original.
Yeah.
And then this hot rod next to it is one of his customer cars. So they're deluxe hot rods. And once again, I've filmed that one before. And I've shortcut it there. Someone must have caught my attention, Carl. But it's a very nice, and we've done that car a couple of times. I'm trying to think. Oh, it was at the Hot Rod Show last year in
Right.
Sydney.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is another nice Monaro there for you, Dale.
Yep. Unusual colour. You don't see too many of
The gold,
the goldy colours.
and he drove it out.
Oh, very good.
Yeah,
Good man.
drove it out. Now, check out the bling on this one.
Wow. I think it's a GSX. Arr.
Is that what the R is?
I think so. Oh, there's some
Too much bling for the camera. It didn't
bright
want to
stuff
focus.
going on there, yeah.
Now, I reckon this would be comfortable. Look at the size of that seat.
A bit of cushion for the pushing on the cushion. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
That's a beautiful looking seat. Hey, your hands will be hanging down though. You look like an what was it? The fastest Indian? You know, that
World's
era,
fastest
world's
Indian,
fastest
yeah.
Indian, were they?
I just realised that in the background there's the hard lid off of this.
Ah, right, yeah, yep.
So I never quite realised how much I like these Corvettes. Every time I see one now, I seem to film them and get a bit carried away, but they've got that classic feel and look about them. Everything's just sort of right.
For a car from the 50s?
And then two side by side, yeah. I'm not 100% sure what model, but With that gold trim.
Yep.
Very nice. And as you can tell, these cars are sort of mixed around the bar, and you've got to sort of remember where you've been and where you're going. So now we're upstairs, so up the escalators to one of the function areas, and they had a handful of lowriders this year, which I don't think were there, or they weren't inside last year.
Can't stop and won't stop. That's a good motto, isn't it?
So there's a few more of those to come, but I've just got to sort of work my way around the room. So I'm presuming this is a resto, but for those people that are into their combis,
Yep.
might be able to tell us all about that. But
Super popular. God,
I know, crazy,
unbelievable. Yep.
And then the HR, so we
HR,
had a
yep.
bit of a chat about that one. And it's not the one, I was thinking it was the one that was unrestored, but there's a bit too much chrome and stuff going on that one. That's had a bit of work done. And what's he got in the window there? Oh, that's for this year's show. And a few more hot rods this year than the last couple of years when I've been there. Now, if you're wondering about the reflections and all on these cars, the lighting in this particular room is like there's pelmets in the ceiling, and the lighting shines up, so you get all the shapes and all on the car because it's like a coffin ceiling, I think they call it.
Okay.
And then what you're seeing is the reflection of those shapes from the ceiling in the paintwork, which is very different.
Yes, it's not like you're in a big hall and you just
Look
wander down.
on that guard now where you see all those shapes.
Yep.
Normally you just see the lights, where with
Yep.
this you get the square shapes and all. Not so many push bikes this time. If you're into your push bikes, the show in Sydney,
The hot rod show.
the hot rod show
Yep.
at Rose Hill, they get a lot there. So I've hopped the fence now to check out the barber shop, because it's got the chair in the back.
Oh, that's cool.
How about that?
Would you call him a mobile barber shop?
Oh, I guess so.
Yeah. Another Monaro.
Another Monaro. And now trying to keep the camera rolling and not trip over getting over the fence. Here we go. Another nice Monaro.
HG.
And a nice American two-door 66, I would say that is. Not sure it's a Galaxy or a Fairlane.
Very tasteful.
More centerlines, Dale.
More centre lines.
Yep.
This time on a ute.
There's a few sets there.
It's that sort of period, wasn't it?
Well, they almost disappeared, except in South Australia. South Australia, they've always been really strong.
And then you couldn't have a A9X or an SS hatchback without hot wires.
You got to have the hot wires. That's exactly right. Now, there's a couple of newbies here. I don't think I've seen this one before. Can be corrected on that, but I don't recall
Oh, that's an
that
impressive
rocker
engine
cover
bay.
and
Yep.
those sort of Webbers and stuff, and that colour. And then right next to it's another beautiful Torana, and then another one in that colour or similar
Wow,
colour
yep.
in the HQ. So this is Showcars Melbourne, so it's another car club / promoter where they actually do cars and coffees and those sorts of things as well.
Okay, yep.
So they had a good run of cars there, and I've seen a post on Facebook today with about 20 trophies for their club cars in front of that, all lined up in front of the green one. Another nice Fairmont. Is that one a VR?
It's a VN, or
Oh,
VN
an N?
Ute.
Yeah, an N.
But yeah. SV 5000 and all the
Very
different
clean.
sorts of...
Very
yeah.
clean under there. And a couple of nice Camaros. There's this next black one coming up's got a really cool injection setup on it. And I was standing talking to these guys when they were doing presentations, and he went up and got himself a little trophy for something.
Oh, very good. Oh, there's a band playing in there. There's 8 trumpets.
Good on you, Dale. Can rely on you to come
Yeah,
through.
well, you know.
Very well.
I'm good with the dad jokes. Or the daggy jokes.
I don't know whether I've flicked a setting somewhere on this camera, Dale. The old focus is struggling a bit. Might be all the actual lighting on the chrome, because there's a lot of chrome there. And it's just struggling to get the change. And these were nice, weren't they? The old SS,
Chevelle?
I reckon.
It's funny how you can see in those, American vehicles that the, you can see the HQ look, how some of that design has sort of flowed into Australian muscle cars. And
Yeah, when you look at the front ends and the clip
yeah,
that goes on, the ones I've worked on, which is very few, but when we did that Camaro, it's pretty much a HQ, because Joel was working on his at the same time, and it's like, yeah, it's the same car.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, if it ain't broke, you don't need to fix it. Oh, that's
It's
cool.
different. Look at that back window. eh?
Wow.
There's probably a name for that.
Hmm.
There was one like Impala, it was a bubble top or something, but
Okay.
it's not one of these.
Yep.
But yeah, that's pretty cool. What's that number plate? There we go. It's a Buick.
LeSabre, two-door,
Yeah,
1961.
Yeah. It would have been a happening thing in 1961, wouldn't it,
absolutely.
A 65 Thunderbird. I've tried to get a few signs to give us a bit of a helping hand, Dale. It's like, I like the trim of those. I like the way the back seat steps down and got the badges and stuff's really cool. Now there's an unusual colour.
It is.
And it's either like Royal Umber or something like that.
Okay,
It's named after a chocolate
Right.
box or somebody.
Okay.
One of those stories.
Yep.
I'm not going to try and understand. I could own that. Red, lots of chrome.
That's a bit of Astor right there.
Now,
So that was an unusual paint job, and then I realised it was a rug.
Well, I'm not sure about that one and whether that was to sit on or whether it was covering up something in the paint or what the go was. But so there's some of these low riders, and the
they
inside
do some awesome paint jobs
incredible.
on these low riders.
The amount of work and the masking and the back masking and the
Oh.
clearing, and it's unbelievable. But I think there's one coming up in a minute that very similar trim to Dad's caddy that I had for a while.
Yep.
Yeah, look at them scrolls, mate.
Yep.
With the old turn, so the gold leaf, and then
And they'd be hand painted.
yes, yeah.
Yeah. And I've seen guys do it, like I've seen a video of guys do it, and it's like blows my mind how good they are.
What gets me is how you do the second side. It's all right.
You
It's
do
easy
the
to do
reverse.
one side. Now look at that. They remind you of the caddy, mate. Eh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably is a caddy. That's probably why.
It's a big square boat.
So I filmed a couple of these
It is a
going
caddy.
out. So
There you
hopefully
go.
Louise has put them in because they're very similar front to Dad's
Yep.
caddy. Eh? Now I've got to go back and get the ones in the middle. Very traditional looking hot rod, isn't it, that one?
Seen this one somewhere, I think, but I can't
Yeah, I've seen it a
remember
couple
where.
of times.
I like that. I like the colour.
You like the green?
I like the green with the black,
Commodore green, is it, you reckon?
Yeah,
It's probably a house of colour.
possibly. It's very blingy.
There's a lot of chrome on this engine. And this is one of those, if you have a look, the engine's the same colour as the trim.
Right.
It's like the
There
old,
you go.
how do we
Yep.
tie the engine bay
That's how
into
you
the
tie it
inside?
together.
Yeah. And there's a lot of fab in that trim, I can tell you.
Yep.
What are them wheels?
It could be from South Australia.
It might be a South Australian car. So we're off to the Van Nationals, Mr. Walton, in
Okay.
at Easter time.
Yep.
So it's the 50th anniversary, and the
Wow.
first one was in Mildura, and they're having it back in Mildura, but I didn't start until the second or the third one. I went in
Right.
77,
Okay.
and then me and Fuzz went in 78. So Fuzzy and I are going back this year at
Cool.
Easter. But I see it's an interesting weekend because it's, what do they call it? I don't know, horsepower weekend or something.
Yeah.
The drags are on, the speedway's
Oh, okay.
on, there's a show and shine and the Van Nationals all in
Wow.
the one town over the Easter weekend. There we go, another SLR. That's almost an orange.
It is.
It is an orange, I think. The late model look with
I
all
like
the black
with the black,
hinges and
the
you
black
like that?
hinge. Yeah, the black's
Yeah.
different. Yeah. Going for the stealthy look. We've got the dark on dark.
You can't see in there. Yeah.
Oh, another soft spot. I've had a couple of EHs.
Well, being a Holden man and,
Well,
and
you know,
your age, I
that's
imagine
right,
you would have.
yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't look that good though. They certainly didn't have one of them things in the engine bay.
No, and I did get the signer. It's a 350 Chev. Yep, 350 Chev. Thought I'd better get that because I won't remember what it was. That's tradition at its best. It pipes
Absolutely.
out through the inner
Yep,
guards.
yep.
That's the way they were done. Here's Vicky's XE.
This is Vicky's car.
And I've given her a plug every year. I better give her another plug.
Yeah,
so
well,
actually,
don't get tired of seeing it, Vicky. It's good.
had a chat to her and her husband on the PPG stand talking about paint colours for his new build, trying to work out how to get the look without having 2 and 3 layer.
Right.
Because
Okay.
one of the issues when you're trying to paint a car, especially if your painter doesn't do a lot of custom work, is you want that really sort of standout colour, but you don't necessarily want to be into a three layer candy
Yes.
trying to get it to come out right. So yeah, talk to your PPG rep and he'll sort something out for you. So the stuff we used on Boss XC's a 1 layer,
Right.
and it's got glass in it that gives it the pop,
Okay.
and that's what I'm going to use on the van because I'm going to do that one all myself. So I need all the help I can get.
You take advantage of the.
So it looks like dinner
Refinements.
served because the
Oh.
place is empty.
Yep.
So there's another combi. And this is just one half of upstairs. So we've got a fair bit more to go yet. That's why the video's as long as it is, because there's so many cars there. Now,
And there's so many nooks and crannies that they're parked in.
check
isn't
out
there?
this thing.
Wow, the Buick straight 8.
Straight 8, yep. And he drove out the gate. See
Yeah.
you later, yep. Yeah, what about a Zephyr? I like the one with the bigger wing personally.
Yep.
This is a bit early for me, but it's got a little Ford Motorsport, Ford Racing little Windsor in there.
289 or something like that, do you reckon?
Yeah, probably
Something like
302 or stretched
302.
out to a 347 probably. Look at the angle on that steering wheel.
Wow.
It's like nearly driving a bus, you know, where the wheel's up
Well,
a bit
you'd
straighter.
want to have that center console thing down here and slide across
Now
the
this
seat.
thing's, what's the way to describe it? It's sort of subtle, but it sucks you in, and there's plenty going on. And I know it did get some sort of award, and I'm a bit disappointed I haven't got all those results. But anyhow, we haven't got them, so we can't do anything about it. But really well finished car. and I think just being an FJ and the colours and the whole thing, it's just like really different.
And good to see it still as a 6 and, with the triple Webers. Not everything has to be a V8, that's good.
That's true. But then again...
You never say no. Some unusual wheels on that.
I think they might have been, we'll get back to that in a minute, but I think they might have been a stretch of the original style. So there you go, look, for sale. I got that just for you.
Oh, quick, I'll give him a call when we finish recording.
I think it'd be gone.
He's probably.
Yeah, I'm not sure what those wheels are. So old mate with the car cover missed out. I didn't get back.
Don't cover it up at night, boys and girls. All right, you'll miss out on being on Astle Designs shows.
And greased and gassed and all the others that are there and all the different people. And the other thing is that a lot of the judging gets done at night. So Ronnie and his mate Offsider would have been up judging. There's one for Blackman.
Oh yeah, he'd be into
Blaze
that.
Blue.
Eh?
And then one for Howard, a Red Pepper XA. So that was like our wedding car. We had a 4-door XB, white GT. One of my cousin's cars back in 82 with 3 Cobras. They were all only 45-year-old.
Yeah.
They were all new cars then, yeah. Nice XB as well. And then here's a brand new BF GT. Have a look at it. That's nearly as clean as my ute.
It is. How do they fit it all under that engine bay?
They
look massive.
That's stock.
I know, but it just looks massive.
That's what the ute's like under the bonnet.
It's crazy. Very clean.
Like I said, like brand new, that one. What's that? You'd nearly say a feed or something, wouldn't you?
It's a Honda.
Is it?
I believe.
Good guess, Dale. I don't know.
I
got no idea.
Can't think of the model.
So we've got a couple of rows and then we'll come back to the one I just breezed past. If you're a HZ guy and you wonder why I didn't have a look at it.
He just drools over his red pepper. Falcons.
Red pepper, 4-door. I'd have a black trim but I don't dislike a white trim.
It's certainly a contrast, isn't it?
But the Greavesy overalls mightn't agree. No, it's funny, one drove out, because it's always been, I had one on the wall as a kid and all that sort of stuff, and it's always, Red Pepper XA 4-door, and then one drove out and I went, no, I don't know so much. Must be why I'm doing a panel then. Now someone might be able to answer this one for me. A 351 XA with orange rocker covers, where I always thought all the 351s had blue covers. So I dare say there's a story behind that, because I've just been seeing that another one here. So this is 351 Fairmont with the covers on this one, and then I thought, well, it's got blue leads on it, so it shouldn't have blue leads either. So maybe it's, I don't know. But it'll be
It's a mystery.
for the purist.
Yeah.
When I get to the GT Nationals, that's the other place I'm going.
Yeah, okay, yep.
Got a busy couple of months
You
coming
have
up.
got a busy schedule.
So I'm going to Shepparton.
Okay. That'll be good.
In about 4 weeks time. For 4 days of GT.
Get your
action.
Ford fill.
I'll get my Ford fix, yep. Look at that colour.
That's a cool colour.
Boom, got ya. Purple. Heather would like that colour. She likes that colour. Lumpy 1. Okay? Or just lumpy 8.
Might be a lumpy 8.
Or a lump 1 8. I've got to always ask Dale, because I'm dyslexic, which means I can't read number plates that are shortened. I have no concept.
You did well on that one.
Dale's a bit more intellectual. That word? No?
Yeah, well, that'll work. I'll take that as that's a compliment, folks.
So we missed a nice VN. And then I've videoed this quite a few times, and I put it in my Australia's show car video.
With the bathtub on the back.
Yeah, because it's just got a nice look and a feel about it, and the 22s actually look right with that big kit.
Yeah.
Where on a lot of cars I don't see it, but now this is ordered with all the fruit.
Tick.
Got the sun visor.
Tick the box.
It's got everything. It's got the mud flaps. It's got wind deflectors, you name it. And what is it, a Prem or something?
Yeah.
And a wheelies with the right wheel combo.
It is.
It's got that multi-spoke on the front with the M&8 style rear wheel on it.
Yep.
A little bit of go as well.
They never looked like that when they come out of the factory, that's for sure.
No, and that drove out too.
Oh, cool.
Pretty well, all these upstairs all drive in and drive out because
Yep.
it's about 100 mile to push them in there. So they're all drivers. Now, what about this? Look at that for a little bit of induction. Hey? Nice clean engine bay.
Bocce balls.
De-wired, all that sort of stuff.
Hey.
Oh, on the top.
On the top.
Yeah. Now, I've zoomed into the front here. Have a look.
Oh, satin.
They've brushed everything. The bumpers, I don't know whether
That's
they brushed
sweet.
the chrome
Yeah.
or whether they had them redone, but all the stainless trim's been brushed, and it was pretty
That
cool.
looks cool.
Well, someone was walking under or
Yep.
past me there, that's why I went up, but it made that coupe look really good, didn't it?
That's a nice colour too, the silver.
I reckon that's what they call aluminium.
Aluminium, okay. Yep.
And that's pretty rare colour. But it was a factory colour. And a little bit of LS happening.
Bit of modern motivation.
There's that wheel combo.
Yep.
Cool, little size of the cowl on that one. Hey? That's hiding up under there. A very big, very large carburetor. Now I like this panel van. I shot this at Motorex. And in the back of that, I think I'd try and get a bit of footage of it because I wanted to have a look at it when I got home, but I might stick my head in the window in a minute, I think, because in the back, they've actually painted it like the outside of the car.
Right. Okay.
And it's a serious amount of work. Here we
Yep.
go. Does it work?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's got the timber floor paint
Yeah.
and then the side panels done. I reckon that's cool. I'd half like to do that in mine, but I don't want to do the work.
Be nice if you get someone to do it for you.
Oh, that'd be good. Supercharged LS. I'm guessing a 6 litre. I'm
Yep.
starting to learn all this stuff now.
You are
It's
learning.
a bit of a worry.
We're converting him slowly. Now the Vacationer
Vacationer, yep.
didn't have that motor from the factory,
No,
just in
all
case
them
you're
wheels.
wondering.
Yeah, all
Or
them
not their
wheels.
wheels. They didn't look that good from
Yeah,
the
we're back
factory.
to that car I said we'd get back to.
Not the Kingswood. Got the Statesman rims.
Yeah, it's very well finished off. Now that would have been a bit of a rare one, wouldn't it? Oh, the silver in a 350.
Silver mink type of colour. Yeah, I would have thought so. It's a beautiful shape, the HQ
The white
two-door.
trim. Oh, it's got the hound's tooth.
Houndstooth, yep.
That's a pretty slick car, isn't it? Now, got to go back again now and
You
get
do.
the next row. So this one's promoting a wrap.
Hello.
I'm lost for words.
This is
I've seen
different.
it a few times.
Yep.
But,
Okay.
yeah.
That's different.
Yep. Sort of suicide on this side, one piece on the other side, flip boots, flip bonnet. Yeah. Grandpa spec.
HT.
Fog lights.
One of the ones I learnt to drive on was something like that. 3 on the tree.
186 badge, hey? It looks like a Mustang badge.
Mm-hmm. Mandatory Venetians in the back.
Fuel spill tray.
Overriders.
I didn't know they were a thing, but they've become a thing, the spill tray.
They have become a big thing.
Rares have remade them. They have. So I filmed this last year, and this is once again quite an older build, but the guy just keeps tinkering away and doing a bit more. And I think last year it had a fresh trim in it, but super tidy.
Mm. Hard to get right these models because there was a lot of plastic and the fitment wasn't fantastic out of the factory. So he's done a good job to make that look as good as it is.
It's that combination of all of those different things and all the bits around the windows all fade out and the black goes.
Yep.
And this guy said to me, he said, "How? Why didn't you tell me to move?" I said, "Oh, well, you weren't really in the way." he obviously was trying to get a picture of something in there. How do I get a big block in there?
Yep. It's yellow, isn't it?
Oh, beautiful. Chrome yellow.
Mm.
Red pepper.
Oh, here's another one.
Right next to. And I thought it was interesting here because you got like an XA, then you got a Monaro.
Yep.
And then you got a bit of American muscle, and the American muscle just goes bam, hits you in the face. Have a look at it. It looks fast going, sitting still.
You think Australians build good cars. Have a look at this thing.
Look at that. That drove out too. We'll see that. We'll see that shortly, driving out of the gate.
Bit of Mopar muscle.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's only a young guy.
You don't see many of these around.
And I was talking. I dropped in and seen Ben from Global Trim at Albury on the way through, and I was having a bit of a yarn to him about what he's been up to. And these are some of his wheels. So I think there are 19, the GT ones there.
Yep.
So they're a copy of what was on it, but in a bigger wheel.
Yep.
And they've just now reproduced these in a 18.8.
Okay.
I think by memory.
That's cool.
But if you jump on the Global Trim website, you'll be able to check them out and see what sizes they've got and what sort of dollars they are. But yeah, as a young bloke got that. It's a pretty cool car. Now this was a popular colour, blueprint.
Mm.
A lot of cars in that colour because I had an AU, but it was in Naruma blue, which is the dark blue, which I really liked. Obviously, I must have liked it. I bought one, but the blueprint, there was so many cars in that ordered, and then so many that were painted in that colour. Check out the rims on this.
Wow, they're different.
I think I sort of go back and get another look in a minute because it's gone. Oh, okay, big wheels. Got the fast LS in it. Tucked up underneath.
So that's an adaptation of the Statesman rim. So that looks good.
Pretty cool. And then we've got a.
All right, how'd they get it down the escalator? That's what I'm
wondering.
Yeah,
how'd they get that there? And I'm stuck for words for colour. Surfer orange.
Surfer orange. Okay. Yep.
Surfer orange. I think there's another one that's very similar. It might actually be that's. McPherson's Gold, it's called, but it's a take off the McPherson's Gold chocolate box. Right. It was orange.
Yes.
So it's called gold, but it's not actually gold. No. So it's just one of those colours. But how nice is that? Nice, straight, clean, beautiful, polished, lots of new chrome.
You'd love to do your cars and coffee in that, wouldn't you?
Whew.
Even though you don't drink coffee.
That's it. Yeah.
Cars and Coca-Cola.
That's it. Donut and the Coke. Be careful how you say that.
Yes, that's true. That's why I put the cola on the end of it.
I really struggle with my trim shots. I think I don't know. It's a bit disappointing because you can't tell when you're filming it.
No, it's all happening too quick. And
there we go, another GTO.
A GTO.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
With the LSX. That manifold, eh?
That's
big,
one of those CNC.
That was a really big piece of aluminium at one stage.
Oh, a little bimmer.
Yep. It must have been something special because it's in there, but I went in and went, oh yeah, okay. Is that a V8, was it? Little V8?
No, I don't think it was, but they made so many versions of those things. They had all-wheel drive ones and all sorts of fancy things.
So I had a bit of a chat to this dude. So this is like the guy that owned it organised the restoration, and it was one of those sort of all the way through, but he's made some mods with things like the aircon and stuff to keep it down lower and the chrome, but kept it as a Fairmont. No, it's a Falcon actually, Falcon V8.
He certainly liked his chrome.
He sure does.
Bling it up.
It's almost like a taxi special.
Yeah, it's subtle till it pulls
Look at
up
the
and
size
takes
of
off.
that
Yeah.
on a V8,
Wow.
the size of that turbo. All tucked under.
Good night, nurse.
Pretty much stock bonnet. Look at that, height-wise, the
Yep.
bonnet. The only giveaways the wheels and the roll cage and the seats and the steering wheel and the
Apart from that,
yellow looks like is the go.
it seems to be the theme.
I think these guys are all together because they've all got similar manifolds. Very
A
nice,
VL
very
6
nicely made.
Yep.
It's amazing what's being created. So Plasma Man, so that's an Aussie job.
Yeah.
There's a few people doing some very trick stuff. There's a guy down here actually that makes 6-cylinder.
Okay.
I think he's got three CNC machines running nowadays.
Yeah, I like those wheels. That's a nice
They look good on
different
that,
look.
don't
Yeah.
they? I actually thought the same thing when I seen it.
Yeah.
Have a look at the turbo.
Oh. Man, did it sound like a Dyson? It was just.
I see him head up the stage to get something as well. Although they had plenty of trophies to go around, but you've still got to be there and get one. So you remember last year, Dale, down there was all full of cars.
That's true.
And what happened is this is Saturday night. Normally that would fill up Sunday, but they had a bit of rain, which was a bit upsetting. But I was talking to Elvis, and like you said, the whole thing's pre-sold out.
Yeah,
so
okay.
there's no entry on the day into the main arena. So some people probably opted to just leave the car home and just come in for a look because there was a big crowd there. So there's a few HSVs. So that one there,
Good to see an original looking Brocky.
Adam Perry like that. He's got one of those.
Yep.
Yeah, he'd be right into that. And I'm sure Travis Fazella's probably checking it out. He's got a little Club Sport and a few other toys.
Yep. There's a nice collection there.
And if you're talking about Trav, we can't leave Rob Lee out. He'll get upset. Or a Camaro, mate. Look at that. They're really distinct. You don't see a lot, do you, on the street?
No, there's not many around, and you notice one when you see it.
So that little walkway there, that's where they all drive in and then drive out again. So here we go. Here's the Lovell's ad. So don't forget about Lovell's. And they do four-wheel drives, but they also do our sort of vehicles as well. So if you're looking for springs, shocks, sway bars, jump on their website and have a look. So it's lovellsauto.com.au. Is that right? Yeah.
Sounds right.
That sounds right. And these guys know what they're doing, and especially if you're into that increasing the load capacity of your four-wheel drive. If you're towing your boat or your car,
Well, you need your tow vehicle for your show car.
that's it. Or your boat,
Or your boat.
your blown boat.
Your
I'm off to
caravan.
the blown boats too,
Yes,
Dale,
that's
in
true.
Yarrawonga in
Yeah.
a few in about 6 weeks.
You get
Never
around.
home.
Never home.
Never home. That's what it was all about. So the GT Nationals are being run by this club. So these guys, I'll wait till the sign comes up to get it right. I've actually joined the club now, so I should know. But to go to the GT Nationals, you not only have to have a GT, you have to be in a club
You have to be in a club. You have to be
to
a club
attend.
member.
You have
That's
to be
right.
a club member.
Don't let any riffraff in.
No, that's right, mate. So we're gonna take the FG down and actually participate over all of the days and catch up with these guys.
Because it is a GT.
It is a
See,
GT.
it qualifies.
Yeah, it's called
Genuine.
a late model.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you late model guys can go over there.
Hey, look, notice the tyres, Howard.
Yeah, look at that, mate.
Hey, the
Hey,
Mastercrafts.
The Mastercraft.
We're on
Put them on Cool Mint.
Cool Mint, correct.
We did.
That's shiny black, isn't it?
Yeah, and there's two of them, one of each, a 4-door and a 2-door. So these guys have the GTs in the club, but they also have associates.
Okay.
Which is the non-GTs. So if you got a Fairmont or you got a...
Yep.
There we go. The Falcon GT Club of Victoria. Just so they get it right. I didn't want to say the wrong club,
we don't.
So this was a new build and unveil, I believe. And had plenty of attention all weekend. Got
all looks very correct. The right colour on the screws.
And the dots and dashes.
And stickers and decals. And
there's always a bit of debate about all of that.
Well, that's half the fun.
And they've got their... It's interesting when you see the application form and all to be for the judging, because I'm not having mine judged, but for the judging, they have specialist judging for each model.
Right.
So there's the XW...
The people that
guru,
know the... Yeah,
and then the XA guru.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that do the particular judging. So this is early Sunday morning before the gates open, because I went down to film it Saturday night and they're all covered up and bonnets closed and stuff. So I just went, well, I'll do that in the morning. That's a nice, classic, clean-looking car, isn't it? I could own that one.
That's very clean.
Yeah. And my mum drove one of these.
That would have been almost funny with your mother sitting in the size of that boat.
A ZC or a ZD.
Yep.
But then after that, we moved into the LTDs, mate, because Dad had a bit of a finger in a pie, as he does with the Ford dealer, and that's where I started my career. Look at the trim colour.
Wow.
Hey?
Hey?
Louis Vuitton, mate.
Well, that's top shelf there.
Bloody wonderful.
White and gold.
White and gold.
Can't go wrong.
So this brought back some memories, because my brother had an XA that I'm trying to 100% remember, a bloody long time ago, because we're only teenagers. So what's that, 50 years ago? And he had one of these that was a bush car, and it was a Wild Violet. No, it wasn't Wild Violet, the other one, though, the pinky looking colour, and he resprayed it in that green, which I'm pretty sure is Emerald Fire.
Right.
Now this one's unusual. I looked at the stripes along the bottom and went, they're not right. There's something wrong with them. And then I sort of, doing what you do.
Did a second take.
And I'm looking through a camera, and you're only looking through a little 2-inch screen, and I'm trying to wandering around, and you're watching people to get out of their way and all the rest of it. But you'll see when we get around this side, it's got flared guards on it.
So it has.
The guards have all been pumped.
Yes.
And that's why the stripes look funny.
Looks unusual because it's
different.
It's big in the hip.
It's been changed. Yeah, so I don't know if it's an ex-race car or what it was, but yeah, very unusual. And then just a very nice rest day.
They're just a classic vehicle, aren't they? I saw one the other day here in Wollongong driving along and went, yeah, that's nice.
So I'm zooming in a bit there because it's got one of the big 800 horsepower fuel pumps on it and a massive fuel line going up to it. So I'm guessing inside that stock engine is not stock.
Yeah, stock on the outside only. Yeah.
And this one's a bit the same underneath. This one's built for a bit of go fast treatment as well. The size of the exhaust on that.
Yeah.
And it's got cowl tracks and all on it, so yeah, she's a bit of a go faster. Nicely finished off though, eh?
It is very well finished. Straight and clean and nothing out of place.
And it had a couple of LED lights down on the back of the radiator support, which I thought was cool. So yeah, that's you can actually see the engine. And I'm looking, I'm thinking, because you see all these things and then you forget later, but yeah, it was cool like that. Now, if I had a shed long enough, the garage on
you
the
have
house,
a long shed, but you'd need a longer one than this.
I don't think the shed on like what I call the garage on the house would be long enough for that.
No, you'd get to the second door, but you wouldn't get the boot in.
Look at all that trim, mate. Look at the size of the armrests and the bloody...
So this is a Continental, if I read it correctly.
Yeah.
On that thing. Is that a Lincoln? Is a Lincoln
I reckon
brand?
it probably would be. Yeah, it'd be a Ford Lincoln Continental.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Look at the size of that bumper where it wraps around the corner.
That's huge.
Yeah, I like that. That's a cool car.
Yeah. Comes with a boat license.
And then it's like, now, where am I?
A Stang.
More of them wheels.
65, 66. Similar to what you had?
Yep.
Around that?
Yeah, very similar. So I think it was a 6 on the side. Little Windsor. So I've probably told you before, Dale, but the 289-302 was a narrower than the 351.
Yes.
So the 351 gets a bit tight in the Mustangs, but people even stick Clevelands in them. You can always make a bit of room.
Look at them hips.
Now look at them tyres, eh? It's another set of them rims. I actually seen remember the bronzy colour XE that was Motorex with the nice stripes and all on it?
Yep.
The two brothers. They've just put a set of beadlocks on. They told me they're going to put some on it, but they've done them in a two-tone Cerakote.
Okay.
Copper and whatever colours. It looks cool. Looks really good. Really suits the car. Nice engine bay on that one.
Yes.
There's a couple of greens in the XAs, and I always get a bit confused about which one I'm looking at, because there's the Emerald Fire and then there's another green that's almost the same, but I can't remember the name off the top of my head.
It's amazing for the period how many choices of colours there were.
And you could special order, that was the whole thing as well. So I think something like XB, there's 24 colours or something.
Yeah, well, that was the thing, you know, like you talk to someone, I've ordered my car and I've ordered this and this, and you could pick and choose so many combinations.
I was sort of happy to see this there, because I've been a bit concerned about putting a blue engine in a green car. Mm-hmm. And we avoided it with Cool Mint, because he had the big 427 thingy, and we decided to do it all black.
Yep.
So I was happy to see that, because I still haven't tripped over that line yet to work out what colour my engine's going to be in the van, but I was thinking it would be blue. But there's a couple of nice Tickfords here, a couple of the Associates cars, and then a Go Fast one.
A stand up and hang on.
It looks like it. I'm guessing that it does something like that.
90-10 shocks in the front, big fat wheels on the back.
There's an unveil. So I was keen to see this because I knew it was going to be there. So this is the same era as mine. So it's quite a rare car in the sense it's a 351 manual Sundowner in a very unusual colour.
That is an unusual colour.
And not a super rare, but an unusual coloured trim to go with it. And it's been painstakingly restored, but at the same token, they've made some changes and mods, wheels and interior and stuff that wasn't as they were. But the guy that built the car, I managed to have a chat to him, and he was telling me they used quite a lot of new old stock, and he had someone do the dash for him, and the fabrics and all was actually original Ford fabrics, which always blows me away because that's 45, 50 years old now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, very unusual combination.
And then the Sundowner stripes.
It's almost like a chamois,
It almost had a tinge of green in it, that outside colour, and then they've trimmed the back out.
Yep.
So there's another one we're going to see in a minute, a red XW or XY with a very similar trim with the LED lights.
Got the disco LEDs in there.
Yeah. So that was a newbie.
Very good.
That's him over in the background over there on the left, the guy with the jacket on. That's the restorer. All the catches and all done. Mm-hmm. I was probably filming that for my own record and forgot to tell Louise to take it out. Yeah, how do they go back together?
Yeah.
They're preaching away on the channel about making sure you take photos, and I was looking for photos of something the other day and I couldn't find it to work out how to put something back together. got the factory cassette player. Yeah, so that's a newbie.
Yep.
So that'll be, I think that's going to the GT Nationals.
Okay.
So the same guy restored this. This is his own car, I think, by memory, when he told me. So the XY done as a GT in a panel van.
Right.
He's got a bit of a panel van fetish.
It certainly appears that way.
Yeah. Well, the other one was a customer car. The XC. It was interesting. He was telling me that how much easier it is to block an XY out than it is to block out the XC, because the body lines on the XY stop, see down through where the stripes are.
Yep,
so you've only got smaller panels.
Okay.
Whereas when you go into the XC, everything's massive.
Yes.
Like when you're blocking it, and that's the same as when you're doing a coupe.
Yep.
So I quite like the way they've done that with the door trim.
Yeah.
Look.
Yeah, it breaks up that surface. It's not this.
Got the disco speakers in there as well.
There wouldn't be many of these panel vans still around, would there?
You wouldn't imagine.
You wouldn't think
Owen
so.
Webb's
You
doing one
just
at the
don't
moment.
see many.
Owen Webb's doing one.
Yeah, okay.
There's plenty getting done at the moment.
Yeah, there'd be a lot in the garages, I'm sure, but but you just don't see them out and about.
Oh,
hang
look
on.
at this.
Keep still, my beating heart. This is what Dale owned. A 327 Bathurst HK.
In blue.
In this colour.
Yeah.
But I had a black trim. Big ass wheels. Big motor.
So that's the end of all the stuff that's set up inside, and then this is now like 7 in the morning.
Okay.
And we've had a decent bucket of rain on the Saturday night.
Yep.
And as you can see, there's a bit of rain on the car there, but it was sort of looking maybe yes, no, how much rain I'm going to have. And then it came and went, and then by lunchtime, typical Melbourne, beautiful day.
Yeah.
So these guys are the early birds. So there's 2 gates, and this one's normally the guys that are just going to turn up, park, pay you $30 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And
check out the cars.
Come and go as you like.
Yep.
And up the other end is all the ones that normally go on the grass out the front. So I had to sort of wander around because there was a lot at this gate and no one at the other gate. And then when I come down to this gate, they were all at the other one, and I did a few steps, I can tell you.
Yep.
But yeah, good on them for bringing them out.
Yeah, it's good to see them out with a bit of moisture on them. It's only water.
That's it. So this is the other gate.
Yep.
So I've done the bolt down there because I could see them starting to let them in. So last year it was 2 lanes and all the way up the street at 7 o'clock.
Yes.
But I dare say because it was a bit damp, it minimised some of those numbers coming in. We still would have had over 200 cars.
Yeah,
There's 150, I reckon, inside.
Yeah. It's a very well populated event. There's a lot of people go to it. They don't have trouble getting cars there.
And they had you see the stickers on the blue car there. They had the Ultimate Street Car Challenge on the Saturday, the day before.
Okay.
Check this thing out. There's a bit of footage of this later. It's got a massive Pro Charger on it.
Right.
Just drive it in.
Yeah, as you do. Driven, not hidden, as they say.
That's it. So these guys, they're like a well-oiled machine. There's a whole heap of them, and they're all on bloody 2 ways, and another dub.
Oh, my daughter would love that. That's what she wants. She's
Is that a 16 window, isn't it?
Oh, who knows?
You're gonna be into that,
that's
Charlie.
beyond me. She'll want me to buy her one if I get into it.
Yeah, there's like you're going to get a 20-something window and a 16 window and a...
It's cool with the halo lights.
Yeah. So they look like the old Neil's wheels. See, the centre's like
They
a
do
15
look like
and
nails,
it
yeah.
steps out
Yep.
and out and out. That's a big rim, whatever that
That is a big mother of a rim.
It's either that or it's got absolutely no
And
backspace.
Hoosier
Like,
tyres.
there's no inner.
No. It's got a very shortened diff, potentially, Howard.
I think so. Oh, straight, clean car, though. Yeah, but
An R30 something.
is it?
32,
I believe you.
34, 33. I can never remember.
What's the number plate? No,
No, it doesn't tell me. I tried cheating, but that didn't work.
So now these are the guys that were just up the other end.
Yes.
So I'm down at this gate now. Then all of a sudden they're all coming in from the other end, and I'm going, oh, and yeah.
Really?
I was all over the shop. So the ones up here on the right, that's the one with the Pro
Yep.
Charger up
Yep.
there. So I'll wander up there in a minute because there's a few beat me in the gate. So by the time we get to 9 o'clock, this whole forecourt is full of cars.
Okay.
I just heard in the background something about, I think I said everyone wants a red one.
Yes, I heard that.
So all the cars, all those Mustangs were coming in, and then someone down further was saying, we want the red one. Shammy him off. I guess if you live in Melbourne, you get used to it, but it was sort of like no rain, a bit of blue sky, and then 20 minutes later,
Yep.
a little downpour,
Yep.
and then it clear up again, and then it go again. and-
Wait 10 minutes, it'll change.
Yep. I felt for the guy to the right of where we're looking at the moment. He's setting up his model cars,
Right.
and I'm thinking, oh, if this weather turns, he's got bloody nearly thousands of cars. See all his tables
Yeah,
there? Well, they're
okay.
all covered in like bloody, yeah. And I'm going, geez, you're keen.
He must be a local. He knows what's
Yeah,
going
he knows
on.
what's going on. Yeah. Is that a bullet?
Looks like a bullet, doesn't it?
So now it's a standstill, so we'll just have a wander outside and see what's going on. I mean, what I'm trying to do here is to give people a bit of a feel about what goes on with these shows. You know, if you just turn up at 10 o'clock,
Yeah.
everything's in place, you know.
Yep.
But there's a whole lot of stuff going
There's
on.
so much going on.
To get it to a point where
Correct. Yep.
even for the traders to get in, get set up, get organised. So for me, I was over there at 6:30 in the morning. I think the last bit of footage I shot was just after 6 at night. And the promoters were there. They were all there when I got there.
Yes.
And then they were still there when I left.
Yep. It's long days if you're trying to A, organise or run a show, and B, film it.
Yeah.
It's a good way to keep healthy, Howard, because
It
geez,
is,
we
mate.
do some mileage
I did
walking
about
around.
12,000 steps, I think, for the day. Talked to a lot of people. Talked a lot of rubbish.
Yep.
Because in the middle of the day, then you got time to have a bit of a yarn, get something to eat. Satellites.
Surprise, surprise.
They might be the new Simmons. Now we're back up the other end. We always had a bit of fun trying to chop and change.
Yep.
Some of these things are sleepers, aren't they?
Yes.
You know, they look as stock as a rock, but
You go, yeah, it's a nice Commodore with some big wheels, and then you go,
it's got
holy dill.
400 or 500 bloody kilowatt or whatever. What about this
Yeah.
thing with the stockers under it? Yeah, you got to wonder what Ford was thinking.
Yeah.
That
How
size-
could you leave it so skinny on the back?
That size wheel arch, like wheel well, if you like.
Yep.
That's a nice blue, isn't it?
It
It's Polo
is.
blue, I think. Polo was XA. No, that might have been Neptune.
Okay. That was the next god from Apollo.
Yeah,
We
that's
went
it.
into Neptune.
Yeah.
Was there an Atlas or something as well?
Probably.
Okay, probably, yeah.
I think that's the ice cream truck rattling
I was going
away.
to say,
There you
that
go.
sounds like Mr. Whippy.
about this Survivor?
Another Prem. It's an original looking thing, isn't it?
Oh, mate, smile on the face.
Yeah, that's a bit of a sleeper there. Hey. The Purple Chariot. I'm too slow.
I'm too slow?
I don't think he's very slow.
So was that a stock colour? Like
Yes, the two-tone, correct, yes.
Well, I was hoping it was.
Yep.
There's two cars the same.
Yep.
And I'm thinking, what's going on here?
That was a very popular thing for the SLE, which was the top of the range back in the VHV.
So when I
BBC.
When I had my shop in Broken Hill, not Solid Automotive, we used to sell LE kits and stuff for the Commodores because they weren't very old then.
Yeah, no.
That was a long time ago, 1990 though. There's that Pro Charger I was talking about in that red thing, in the Chevelle.
Is that another yellow Monaro?
Yep, that's another one. Nice little Chevy.
On
350 could be anything size.
Could be, yeah.
They're all 400 and something nowadays.
On the paperwork it says 350.
Yeah.
That's all you have to worry about.
That's all you got to worry about. So this was just sort of to try and give you a bit of an idea of what the place is like when it's going, you know. And even now I'm thinking it's still early because there's, whoa, big turbos.
Wow.
On the V8, look at that. Big, massive intercooler jammed in the front there. What is it? King XR.
There's families and all sorts of people come along to these. They're great events.
Oh yeah, and Elvis that runs the show, he's all his family are involved.
Yep.
Selling the merch and all that sort of stuff, and then the club and all, they cater out the front. They have all of the food and stuff, and they all do it. They do it all themselves. It's quite amazing. So obviously some traders, the old Crow Cams boys are there, so they've been a long-term supporter of mine. So I
was hoping you'd get a photo of this, Howard. The old the Scorpion.
Yep.
These were a
weapon?
Mitsubishi.
Look what's in it though.
That's not a four-cylinder that they came out with in the factory. No.
LS the world, mate. I think it's an LS, is it? Yeah, with a magnet charger on it.
Yeah. Wowzers. No wonder it's drawing some attention.
So they got a DJ cranking out the tunes as well, a bit of bass and stuff going on, which we've got to try and avoid with the channel. So this was upstairs, and I was just talking about all these headlight covers and all that sort of stuff last year, but he was telling me he's put a whole new trim in it now, which I don't even know if I get to film that because I probably got sidetracked. Because they're about to start up the blown race car here, the Monaro.
Stand clear, I think he said.
Yeah, well, it's got the zoomies on it, and it was very, very sharp on the ears. I don't know, whether this is a current running car or whatever, but it's the tune was like very hard.
Now you notice the fellow in the foreground. I don't think that was a sauce bottle.
No, there it is.
Or didn't have sauce in it. Can't appreciate watching this is how it feels.
This one's alcohol, so you wouldn't be standing there if it was nitro.
No.
Cool, peace and quiet now. So the event has got this ongoing vibe, but then you can go upstairs, go up the escalator, and there's a coffee van with cakes and
Cool.
stuff, and then you
Yep.
can nice and quiet, and the
Yep.
quiet music's running, and there's something for everybody. And then these now are just going to walk up around. So these are the day trippers, so they can just come in.
Yep. Turn up, park up.
Yep, if you've got a decent car, you can park your car in there and have a bit of a look around, and then when you're ready, you can go, sort of thing. No requirement to stay all day. I must admit it was a little bit easier to film than last year, because I reckon they're probably 100 cars down
Right.
with the rain.
The weather, yeah.
But, I mean, still plenty to see.
That orange stripe just goes so well with that, doesn't it?
It works, doesn't it? Man, they must have sold some of them wheels. Hey?
Yep.
Wowzers.
Yep. We thought Simmons and we thought Centerlines were popular, but Weld wheels, boy, they're everywhere.
And there's a heap of different brands. It's just that whole look, that skiddy ass front wheel, and then the beadlock on the back. It's funny, I was saying to someone the other day about these Fairmonts in the Falcon there. That blue, for some reason, all the Fairmont, like the GXLs, the sort of top end, was so many in that blue. It was crazy. How's that for a nice car?
57 Chev two-door.
Yeah, can't go wrong.
Running on empty.
I was talking to Owen Webb at the show about, so I want to go back to the States and film something, but I'm probably not going to do SEMA again, because I've done it 2 years in a row. And he was saying it probably doesn't suit what you do. He said, but there's a show in the US that's just the Tri, so it's 55, 6, 7 Chevs only.
Okay. Only.
And there's like 3,000 cars or something there, you know. I go, wow. And he was saying that's a really cool show. There's so many events out there. I was looking at the Good Guys. They run a show every month right across the country, and then they have a final at the end of the year. We've just had the Oakland Roadster show with America's Most Beautiful Roadster.
Okay.
Then there's where they have the Riddler, so the Grade 8.
Yep.
So Detroit Autorama.
That's I'm going to say it's Detroit, yep.
And there's so many events, and I haven't been to any of them.
No.
So I'm sort of trying to work out, later in the year, I want to go back. So I think I've found a new partner to take with me, to look after me.
Good.
So Dennis, that I've known for some time, said to me at Summernats, "You going back to SEMA?" I said, "No, I'm going to go back to the States." Sorry about the people that own these cars. They're all nice cars, telling stories. That's for sale, Dale. You have to change the wheels. And he said, if you're going over, but you're not going to SEMA, I'll come. I go, well, you got to look after me. It might be different.
It's not all beer and Skittles.
It's not all beer and Skittles.
Or Coca-Cola and M&Ms.
A stocker.
It is a stocker. A Blue Meanie.
Another Blue Meanie. That looks almost like everything's the way it's meant to be.
That looks like an original looking Blue Meanie.
Now, what about that one? The green one, what is that?
I have
I have no idea either.
Part of me wants to say Buick, but I'm guessing.
It looks like a Nash. Maybe a Nash. Help us out, people.
Yep.
Yeah, so I've got to make that decision shortly and start thinking about working out. But some of the cool shows, it's another 10 hours on from once you get to LA, it's on the other side of America, and it's like Australia, it's a long way.
There's another Blue Meanie.
Another Blue Meanie. Oh, look, I've come back to the cars we missed, so that's all right. So I've now wandered from there back around out in the front, and then there's more cars.
And the sun's come out.
Yep. And then someone's going home. Beep, beep. Get run over. I've never driven or been for a ride in that sort of car, something.
The rat rod looking.
Well, just something that's low and, wind in the hair and, oh well, if we had hair, Dale.
Yeah, many years ago that was.
Another big Pro Charger.
They're popular.
This SS looks good in the red.
How much room's in that engine bay?
I know. Nice Victoria. Another V-dub.
Is that a Torino? Is it? Oh no, Oldsmobile. That's the
yeah,
Oldsmobile. The front wheel drive.
It didn't look like a Chev or a Ford.
Yeah.
The Vacationer.
Yep.
Then I wandered down here and then I went, oh, it's a bloody electric car. I thought, oh well, I'm committed. I better keep going.
No, you just wanted to show the Range Rover in the background.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Then I overheard someone say it's probably the fastest car here. And that probably wouldn't surprise me either.
Well, only to 20 kilometres an hour, but you know.
Well, for the first 100 kilometres. The Prowler. Check out the paint on the wagon, mate.
Oh, wow. Green is nice.
Hey, someone started off, I'll do a bit of that,
He
I'll
might
do a
have
bit of
thought
that,
he
and
doing
kept
a-
going. So that's it, another day done. So I've got about 8 minutes now. I was just hearing some of these cars go out that we've seen upstairs. So that really nice FJ.
Yep.
And you think, how cool is that? It was so well presented, and then load the kids up and see you later. Because I can assure you that there was plenty of trailers for the ones downstairs.
Yes. Oh, the Zephyr. You wouldn't expect to hear the sound coming out of that Zephyr, would you?
The trick now is to get the shot without getting run over.
Yes. Here's the,
So look at the width to the back of that
they're,
four-door.
they're big, aren't they?
Oh yeah. I'd like to know the backstory on that. Is that Luxo with them big wheels?
They look like 22s or something. They're huge.
Oh no.
Yeah. Didn't sound as good as the Charger, but looked just as good.
There's the blue one.
There's the bluey. Hey.
I actually followed that car in on Saturday morning.
Okay.
The blue one,
Yep.
yeah. So I'd come in off the Hume,
Yep.
so I followed him for about 6 blocks.
Okay.
So I don't know where he come from, but yeah, I followed him in. I thought, I know where he's going.
Yep.
I like looking at the age of the drivers.
There's a bit of a mixture in there.
There is.
Those wheels do look good on that car.
Yep.
Not as good as a red pepper 4-door, mind you.
I was talking to the guy who was standing next to me out here, and I go, the amount of cars I've restored that I've had to take bloody air horns off. Even that Cobra, remember Venom?
Yep.
Had
I
air
remember
horns
the
on it.
air horn Cobra.
And I think Cool Mint had air horns on it. So huge.
Well, you remember in SEMA the amount of air horns when the vehicles
Oh,
had
the
the parade.
trucks.
Yeah, the trucks.
The trucks.
They weren't air horns. They were train horns.
Train horns, exactly right. A fair mock the stockers.
With the delete stripe. That seems about the right vintage of drivers.
Yeah, I had one of these when I was a kid.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
When I was a young bloke, I had one of these.
Yep.
Talking about trailers, that's Deluxe in the background with that big blue thing. Yeah, see you, mate. We've gone quiet, though. Must be nearly done.
Well, yeah, it's been a lot of cars. A lot to see. I'll have to get down and see this show.
Well, I was just going to say that. So we've got 3 minutes to go, and I mean, if you like a good cross section of cars, it's a great indoor show to do.
Yep.
And the fact that they have the music and the food and all that sort of stuff going on, and you can see it all in a day. And it's out at Moonee Valley, or Moonee Ponds. It's the Moonee Valley Racecourse, and it's run by car people at club level. And it's a really good mix of styles of vehicle and ages and the whole thing. Fairmont.
TE Cortina.
So Dale normally comes down and does Motorex with me, and he's coming down again this year. But yeah, it is a good one to get to. It's a pity we're that little bit far. It's like took me 10 hours to get home Monday with a couple of stops, but they let the old get the back a stretch and the legs a bit of a walk around. And here you go, this is what I like to see. So this
was the unveil.
This was unveiled at Summernats.
Yep.
And it was the top 20 or top 10 car from Summernats.
Yep.
Top 20 car from Summernats. And it was in the competition class because it is a comp car, but it's built to elite level. But it's still got a lot of stone guard and stuff underneath.
Yeah.
And it's a very well built car. And this is about as far as he's driven it so far.
Right.
So they're gonna run it, and it's booked for a feature of the street machine very shortly. And I'm sure we're going to see a lot of this car at events and at the track. It's got some really cool race car stuff on it. When you look underneath, it's got stuff I don't even know what it is.
Right.
Yeah, crazy. And that's that new level of, I don't know what you call it now. It's just the technology and all that's involved in drag racing, that they're going so fast is amazing. And then to have that sort of build quality as well is a credit to all of the guys involved. So that's pretty much a wrap. What about that trailer in the background there, Dale? That's pretty cool.
That's pretty impressive.
Trailer.
Yeah.
And this is Street Machine World, so it's come a long way from when I did my first trailer back in the 80s. So I'll take the opportunity to thank everybody that's hung in there and watched all the way through. This is...
it's worth watching to the end, isn't it?
Yeah, and the video from last year was one of our best watched videos. And I'm sure I see he had a camera on the front of that. He must have been recording himself going home. So thanks for joining us again, and thanks, Dale, for coming out tonight and
That's all right.
helping me go through the process.
Always fun to look at these.
Yeah, it is. And it's, we're on a big screen tonight, which is even better. We've got Louise to do a whole job on it. So thanks again. Don't forget, check out Dale and I doing Trophy Hunter, and then we do the build series after that. You can see my life story and how come I know everybody and know all the cars.
Leave a comment, hit the like button.
Subscribe, all that sort of stuff. Thanks to Levels, of course. And as we always say, bye-bye for now.
See you next time.